being the hunter to the hunted.
We've always been doubted. Just want to prove that we can do something.
Every game's a big game in the NE8.
We're hungry. We've been hungry ever since the Leo loss.
Rivalry games and conference games are always big.
We're looking to go out and beat them to win the Northeast 8.
It was windy out there tonight. For fans of the Northeast 8 Conference, they've been blown away by how unpredictable and how competitive this league has been in its first year. Perhaps the biggest game of the conference to date tonight down in Decatur. Jessica Starber joins us with your Highlight Zone Game of the Week. Jessica.
Glenn, Belmont has been the sleeper in the Northeast 8, but their win over Leo last week catapulting them to the top of the conference standings. To stay there, they'd have to take down a fast and feisty New Haven team. New Haven at Belmont is your Highlight Zone Game of the Week. Belmont is the only undefeated team in the Northeast 8, but New Haven right behind them at 3-1. Belmont up by a field goal early, and it's Keyshawn Moore trying to put his team on the board. Instead, he is picked off by Parker Burkhalter. He'll take it all the way up to the 5-yard line, and that will end the first quarter. But what a way to start the second quarter. It's Caleb Hankinson, red hot, just punching it in right there to put Belmont up 10-0. Later, Keyshawn Moore is picked off again, setting up this. Grant Gutierrez to Mason Shinneberry in double coverage. Shinneberry also a pretty good pitcher. He threw a no-hitter in the spring, but it's that catch that puts Belmont up 17-0. New Haven going to get on the boards. It's Nishan Jones, a speedy running back, scurries it in to put Belmont in contention. They also convert the two-point conversion. 17-8 Belmont lead, and then it's Hankinson again with the speedy feet. It's a 48-yard run. He had 178 yards of total offense. Belmont up 24-8 at half. Say hello to your homecoming king and queen riding in that sweet ride during halftime. It's Keyshawn Moore again, going to try to get his team in it, but the ball bounces off the helmet of Tony Busey, and he'll take it down to the 12-yard line, and it will set up the final touchdown of the game. It's Gutierrez on the QB keep. Belmont wins 31-14 to stay unbeaten in the Northeast 8.
It feels awesome, considering we had a big one last week and then a big one this week. It's just, I couldn't even give it any words. It was awesome.
It's nice having our destiny in our hands. Like, we don't have to have any teams depending on a win or loss. It's all on us, knowing that we can just get 2 wins and win the conference.
The most important games coming up is DeKalb, and we got to focus on that and take care of business. And that's how we've done this all the time. We lost to Adams Central. It's been a one-game thing the whole time, so we haven't looked past that, and we're going to do the same thing this week.
Belmont hosts DeKalb next Friday, like Larry Getz said, while New Haven heads to East Noble. Glenn, back to you.
All right, thank you very much. A 3-1 in conference. East Noble very much in that Northeast 8 title chase. Knights at Columbia City up 13-6 of the half, third quarter. It's Zach Jenkins to Dylan Hundley. That's a first down for the Knights, and then later on the drive, it's Jenkins using the feed. He gets in on the QB keeper, 28-6 Knights at that point. Remember, Andrew McCormick not playing in this one. East Noble's offense would continue to roll late. Charlie Miller in the fourth, plunging in for the score as East Noble wins this one at Columbia City, 41-6 to stay in that title chase. Leo 3-1 in the league, also in that championship picture. Lions at Huntington North this evening, and we pick it up early in the first. Huntington North running the football. This is Brian Beeks. We've seen him a lot on Friday night this season. He picks up the first down for the Vikings, but the offense wasn't necessarily clicking early on. It's Leo's D. We talked about it a lot this season. Mason Kern causing the fumble. It's recovered and pounced on by the Purple Pride, and they would take advantage. Trenton Bonner, remember, had a couple kick returns for a touchdown in a game a few weeks ago. He's obviously got skills, tiptoeing down the sideline for the touchdown. Makes it a 6-zip Leo lead at that point, and Leo wasn't done. Ryan Gauss to Joe Lambright. You see Lambright with a big touchdown run here. Tyler Hensinger goes for 153 yards rushing and a score as Leo all over Huntington North. The final of this one, 42-14. Final stop in the Northeast 8, Norwell at DeKalb. The Barons looking for their third straight win. A lot of pink tonight in Waterloo, showing support for Harrison Price's mom, Lisa, as she battles breast cancer. Harrison Price making mom proud here in the first. The quarterback decides to keep it. Good decision. You saw the extension. It's a 10-yard touchdown. Mom certainly approves that one. 7-zip DeKalb in the lead. Then it's Price using the arm, and it's Will the Thrill Chrisman. How good is this guy? He gets those big tootsies in there for the touchdown. 31-yard strike, 13-zip to Calb. Second quarter, the duo hooks up again. Chrisman goes 54 yards for the score. His line tonight, 11 catches, a $172 receiving, and a pair of touchdowns as DeKalb shuts out Norwell 31-0. In the SAC, second-ranked Snyder atop the conference at a perfect 6-0. North 4-2, ranked 10th in 5A this week. Third quarter, it's Isaac Stabling, the future Eastern Michigan football player, to Mac Hippenhammer, 62 yards. It's just that easy. 56-13. Panthers at that point. Yeah, you got the idea that the Panthers would be improving on and moving on in this one. Marcus Green with some defense, you saw it, but then it's Arian Nieves picking up the first down. Dominic Scott with 136 yards rushing, 3 TDs. Snyder over Northside, 63-13.
We were getting talked to how they had beat Carroll and they would be a tough team to beat, and we just came out, kept scoring, and they couldn't stop us for the first half.
We performed well, and we need to at this time of the season because this is when the conference title becomes determined, and playoffs are starting soon, and it's about time that we start playing as well as we can.
Northside is at Concordia next week. Snyder will host Dwenger. And speaking of the Saints, Bishop Dwenger hosting Carroll tonight. The Saints marching in with a 5-game winning streak. Second quarter already 23-0 Saints. Blake Pachelny to John Fetterspiel. That's a first down for Bishop Dwenger. And later on the drive, a 4th and goal from the 13. No problem. Zach Norton extending. He breaks the plane. Ball would come out, but it is a touchdown. It's 30-0 Dwenger late second. And I know Doug Dinan, and that's not a happy face. Dwenger's D would step up from there. It's Norton who else with the pick. He would return this deep into Carroll territory with 18 ticks before the break. And yeah, Snyder would punch it in. About 5 seconds left now. Pachelny to Ryan Berghoff, and watch him scoop that one in for the touchdown. 37-0 Dwenger at the half as the Saints go on to win 44-14 over Carroll. At Lures Field, the clash of Calhoun Street. Bishop Lures hosting Southside, and we're going to start off in the first quarter with Lures' Jack Johnston finding who else but Austin Mack, the future Ohio State Buckeye, making it a 7-0 lead. Of course, Noah Wazinski, their starting quarterback, out for the season with an injury, a torn left ACL. Then you're going to see Mack playing D. Yeah, that's a pick 6. They're going to love that kid in Columbus. 14-zip Lures at that point. Dennis Johnson hooks up a C.J. Morris for a first down for Southside, but not enough of that for the folks in green that traveled down Calhoun Street. It's Lures over South, 56-12. At Wayne Stadium, the Generals looking for that elusive first win of the season. Homestead trying to make sure it doesn't happen. First quarter, this is going to help. It's already 7-0 Spartans when Drew Kazai hits Ben Skronik. Scout Wheels for a big guy, 6'4", and he gets down to the 10-yard line later on the drive. Why not run it in? Landon Durnell. He's had a very productive season. He gets into the end zone, and it's Homestead up 14-0 at that point. Now 21-0 in the second quarter. It's Kazai finding another one of his many weapons. Austin Kreider, the senior, tiptoes in for the 25-yard gain. First down for the Spartans, and it's Kazai, the junior QB, with the keeper for a touchdown. 28-0 Spartans at that point as Homestead puts them away 42-14, the final over Wayne. Last stop in the SAC, Spooler Stadium. Concordia battling Northrop. The Bruins getting some face time here on the zone. First quarter action after a Colton Grahovac interception. It's Peterson Curlegrand breaking 4 tackles right there. Makes it a 7-zip Concordia lead early. And the Cadets defense would step up from there. Darius Rogers, he bats it up, then picks it off himself. A one-man wrecking crew right there. Ball to Concordia, but Northrop's defense would warm up. At least they would here. Tavon Johnson chasing after Daniel Sparks, gets the sack, but not enough of that to please all those Northrop fans out at Spooler tonight. Still in the first, it's Sparks with the screen to Curlegrand, and Pearson Curlegrand does the rest. He had over 200 yards rushing and 5 total touchdowns in this game as Concordia beats Northrop at their place 48-20. Coming up after the break, we're going to hit up a huge game in the ACAC. We're talking about undefeated Adams Central making the drive to Penedo to take on 5-1 Southern Wells, plus trips to Heritage, Garrett, West Noble, and Central Noble. All coming up next in the Zone.
Here's some hot apple cider.
Don't let the cold weather keep you away.
The highlights are heating up. Stay tuned for more Highlight Zone.
Woo!